In case you hadn't noticed, I'm an entrepreneur. That's right, me. But I am sure that you knew that already because if you're listening to this show, you're on a quest to learn how to be a winnerly entrepreneur like me. Hashtag winnerly. And it's a good thing you're listening because otherwise you wouldn't know what to do. But thankfully, I'm here to tell you what to do so you will know so that you can do it. So let's do this. Hit it, James.
Brad Johnson Show. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Blast off. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show.
I'm Brad Johnson, and I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
The Brad Johnson Show with your host, Brad Johnson.
Get ready to start winning.
And now your host, Brad Johnson.
Hey, it's me, your host, Brad Johnson, here. As always, with me is the host, James Kirkland. We are
I'm here too.
A mission to make sure that you are not the loser that you are and instead become the winner that you could be, kind of like me, but probably not quite as good. So glad to have you here, pouring my voice, my rich, buttery voice and dulcet tones into your brain cavity. All right, man. James, I tell you, every time I do things, I just amaze myself. It's just this constant cycle.
Yeah, it's just your way of life.
It's kind of gets to be a normal thing where it's almost not shocking, and yet it is because it's so not normal in the way that it is becoming normal. Anyway, I had another lightning bolt idea. I was just chilling in my infinity pool. I was just sitting there, just kind of thinking over the day. And as I was floating in the water, I noticed my legs start floating up, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm sitting in the water." And how panicky that makes me because it's like smoking. I mean, it's horrible for you.
Really bad.
Yeah, so I was just freaking out. I'm like, I got to put my legs down, which I did because I have muscles and stuff. Anyway, but that gave me an idea. I was like, I'm so glad that I have my standing desk and my my aqua desk, my floating desk. But I was like, forget the standing desk. Let's talk about the new standing bed from BJS Enterprises. I was like, think about it. How much time do you spend in your bed? And it's not like you're basically killing yourself.
Most of our time, really, especially me.
It's like a third of half your life or something like that.
Yeah,
that you're laying in a bed, and that is horrible for one thing.
Science.
And for another thing, you could be standing that whole time, and think about how healthy you would be if you were standing that whole time instead of laying down.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, and that's why they pay me the big bucks, because people don't think about things like that. So I did, and sent that I just made up some rough drawings. They kind of got wet and kind of mushed and stuff because I was in the pool when I was doing them. But, that's why it's nice to have an aqua desk, but still they got a little mushed up. Anyway, sent them off to the engineers, and they are working up the new standing bed from BJS Enterprises. So stay tuned for
called innovation.
Yeah, innovation. Definitely. That's what it's called. And so, stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot of awesome things coming from the standing bed from BJS Enterprises. But until we get to that, I'm going to help you salvage the wreckage of your life through my tried and true answers, because you got questions and I've got answers. And that's what today's show is all about. Your burning questions to my entrepreneurial answers. Before we get to that, it's time for a word from our sponsor. All right, James, we, as always, have just the questions pouring in like a rainstorm of questions down on our heads, and we don't even have an umbrella.
We don't need it because we want the rain to fall on our heads and get us wet.
Yeah, and soak into our skin. Man, that's so good for your skin, just that rainwater. It's magical.
Yes. Yeah, it really is.
All right, well, I've got my protein shake here. I am pumped. I am ready to go. Let's knock these suckers out of the park. And by let's, I mean me.
All right. So our first question is, how did you get your idea or concept for Brad Johnson Industries?
Yeah, okay, that's one of those questions I get a lot. And honestly, I'm not sure how to answer it, because BJS Enterprises is not just one idea. It's not just one concept. It is a conglomerate of multiple things that have all just mushed together. It's imagine 12 different containers of Play-Doh, and you put them all on the table, and your parents don't put those together, keep the colors separate, and you're no, and you just do it anyway, and then all of a sudden you have this giant ball of Play-Doh that you can do anything with. That's the BJS Enterprises right there.
That's the concept. It's innovation once again.
Yeah. So I would say, how did I get my idea? I'm always having ideas, as we noticed at the start of the show there with a standing bed. I mean, my luxury roller creeper, like that thing is flying off the shelves, or should I say rolling off the shelves. Just the numerous ideas I've had, the conference ideas that I've had, like all of it just combines to make the BJS Enterprises. So how did I get it? I don't know. I'm just awesome. So there you go. Number two,
how many employees do you currently have?
Oh man, wow. I think this is the first time ever on this show that I'm gonna have to defer to you, James. I don't even know. I don't keep track of those things.
Well, it depends on if you consider VAs employees or not, really, because they do take up a large portion of people that we employ or people that work for us. They're not necessarily paid, but I think we mentioned in the winning quiz that last that we knew there were about 50 VAs working with us. But on top of that, we also have about 25 software engineers. We have the chef. We have the wardrobe manager. We have a couple of graphic designers. We have the portrait artist that comes in every week to do the painting of Brad. We have the mechanic that runs the garage and his team of people. So overall, that's just a few of them. Those are just the roles that I could pull off the top of my head.
You didn't even mention the stylist or Chris.
Exactly.
He's my morning coach. All those people.
Yeah, and we have Ad, who's the selfie specialist. So there's just a huge variety of employees, and it's really hard to tell how many we have. Our payroll is massive. It's not really very clear who we're paying when, but we have a lot of employees. So I'd guess at least 100.
Yeah, I'd say at least. And I'll just be walking through the Brad pad here, so I call my house because it's my pad, and I'll just be walking around like, who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm what's my name, and I work for you. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, I didn't know that. And then I just go about my day, and it's amazing.
Yeah, well, and that's a good opportunity to just kind of connect with and really get to know your employees.
Oh, I don't know any of them. Like that's your job, James. That's why you are on the staff, actually, so that I don't have to worry about that. All right, that was a interesting question. Next one.
What services or products do you offer or manufacture?
Okay. I guess, like I said, since the Brad Johnson show is a giant lump of Play-Doh, most people probably don't realize all the different little types of Play-Doh that go into that giant ball of Play-Doh. So, we could just start listing them off. I mean, winning encapsulated, obviously, huge one right there. Definitely awesome. We have winning liquefied, also very awesome. Quick update on the legal battle that's going on there. You're just going to want to let the people know kind of where we're standing right now, James, on the winning liquefied. I know the supply has been interrupted because of it, and people are really concerned. Yeah.
So what happened was when the truck crashed and all the water spilled into the farmer's field, we actually ended up getting sued because the plants mysteriously died. There was no connection whatsoever to the liquid at all. Like, we're not taking any responsibility for that, but we did pay some money for that. So it kind of delayed the manufacturing and shipping and all that, but everything's under control, and the product is just as safe and available as it was when we started shipping it.
Yeah. And just a note on that, we are still legislating. What?
Legitimating.
Yeah. So we're still legitimating that in court, and we're taking it all the way. I mean, if that goes to the Supreme Court, that could set some case law precedent stuff. And because I mean, there's no proof that there was any damage done. Like, we just watered his plants.
Yeah. And it was just turnips. They were just turnips. Like, nobody cares about turnips.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, okay, so we got Winning Encapsulated, Winning Liquefied, got the business partnership with Chad Brock, the legendary Chad Brock, who everybody's heard of, totally taking the fitness scene by storm with our hashtag InstaBod, the hashtag InstaGym, and that's another product service that we offer. There's my coaching skills, I keynote, we've got the Fred Conference Experience Series, we got Luxury Roller Creeper, like I mentioned, we got a partnership with Aquadesk, what else? Oh, well, the standing bed that's going into production very soon. Gonna be making that happen. Oh man, there's just almost too much to keep track of.
Yeah, we also have the guided luxury cruises service, where people who haven't gone on a cruise before can have a guide to help them through the more difficult aspects of that. So we've got a lot.
Yeah, and I'm kind of working up a new idea. Already, the neighbor problem here, my Brad pad, was a little out of hand, so I just bought their places, and I couldn't bring myself to put them under like an Airbnb or a Vrbo or whatever, because it's like I wish I had thought of it. Okay, as just brutal honesty here, I really wish I had thought of it. So I decided to kind of go against the grain, do my own thing. So it's now those neighbors' houses are now Air C&Cs. And I thought that was like way better, because it's not like a bed and breakfast. Like, who needs those? It's now Air C&C, which is coffee and croissants. So you get to the Airbnb, you get coffee, 100% Arabic beans, and you get a croissant that's completely gluten-free. I don't even know how they do that. So good. Wow. But yeah, so you get the place and the C&C. And I think we've really got an edge on the B&B, because it's further on in the alphabet. Plus, it's better in other ways too.
Definitely. Like, and who doesn't love croissants?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's just kind of the sampling there. Like I said, I do personal coaching, I do events, I do so much. I even have people who sponsor me to actually just show up places, like just randomly. I don't even know sometimes what they are, but yeah. Anyway, so there's the answer to that question. I think we got time for one more, and then we're going to go to the wellness well. So let's knock out one more.
All right. The question is, what do you look for in an employee, and how important is corporate culture?
Corporate culture? Who asked this question? Throw that out the window. That is, corporate culture is dumb, okay? I'm just going to say it.
Stupid buzzword.
Most people won't say it because they don't have the guts, but I have more than that. I have guts and muscles, and I'm going to say it. Corporate culture is dumb.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary. It's a bane of society.
Yeah, totally. So, don't forget about corporate culture. But as far as what I look for in an employee, it's just that X factor. It really is. And I have it. And so I know when I see it. And that's why, you see these judges on America's Got Talent or The Voice or whatever, which, I was approached multiple times, I'm pretty sure, by people to become a judge on there, because I have such an eye for that sort of thing. But just, didn't work out timing wise. Anyway, when you have that, that's the reason they're the judges there, is because they have that X factor and they can see the X factor in the other people. That's me with employees. And even though I don't do any of the hiring around here, that's just, it's always run by me at the end of the day, and I'm able to tell totally.
Yeah. And also, I think another thing that we really look for is people's preparedness to be able to handle extreme wealth, because a lot of people just aren't prepared and they never experienced it. And for a lot of people, it can actually send them into shock and just an anxiety of not knowing what to do with so much money. So that's something that we've really had to look for, especially recently.
Yeah, and that was my suggestion. I think you've implemented this since in the job interviews that you've done, is just to throw a couple wads of cash at them and see what happens.
Yeah, just see what their reaction is.
It's very telling, very telling. All right, now it is time for one of my favorite segments of the Brad Johnson Show, which is the Wellness Well. Because let's face it, you are probably not where you should be as far as your health. And that's why we leave where you are and go to where you're not, which is the dewy garden path that takes you down to the well where you dip your mind bucket into and be healthy in the Wellness Well. So come with me. Take my hand. Let's go to the Wellness Well. This is part of the show where I'm talking with my friend, my pal, my partner in healthy crime, Sky. Sky, how's it going, brother?
Brad, things are so good. Life is great. The well is deep, and it is full of delicious and amazing things to fill your mind and your soul with.
And that's what we're talking about today is a new health trend. I'm so excited about this because I think there's so many times where it's just like there's so much health information out there. You don't know what to trust. You don't know what not to trust, but you can trust what's on the wellness well. And that's why I'm so excited to bring this to people.
Exactly. Yeah. You could trust us implicitly because this is all based on real life experience from me and me alone. And that's really the only authority you need. So this new opportunity is to be able to help you build a true immunity. A lot of people don't have any immunity and they get sick, which is an absolute waste of life and space on the earth and resources, because, what's the point in living on earth if you're just going to be sick and just making a mess? So the way that you go about building, yeah, definitely. So the way you go about building that immunity is by licking everything you can think of. And that may be kind of revolting to people, but let me tell you what, if you don't want to be sick, you're going to do this. Okay. Anytime you come into contact with dirt, you're going to eat some of it. Okay. Just a spoonful. Whoa. That's all it takes. Okay.
Yeah.
You're immediately immune to dirt and dirt germs. Okay.
Wow.
Let's say you find like some gum stuck to the bottom of your shoe. You're going to pull it right off and eat it. Okay. You're going to eat it. You're not going to chew it. You swallow it. Your mom told you not to do that, but that's the only way to build true immunity, so that if someone ever spits their gum on you, you won't get sick. It's just how the science works.
Wow. That is amazing. And I love that too, that it's not just enough to just eat dirt once, because there's different dirt around the world. People don't know that.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time you move to a new region, you're in a different location, visiting family or on vacation, you gotta acclimatize yourself. You gotta immunize yourself everywhere you go. So you go to the beach, you gotta eat some sand. Okay. Take a jellyfish and lick it, find things in your vicinity. Okay. That can help you build that immunity. Just find whatever's close by and lick it or ingest it, and you'll be safe.
It's kind of an exciting way to look at life when you're just kind of on this treasure hunt for things that you can lick.
Exactly. And you do have to be discreet. Don't try and lick, someone's ice cream cone, while they're eating it, that type of thing. Take a little bit of courtesy.
Wait till they put it in the trash first.
But as soon as they're wait until they're done, and then you jump right on it. Okay. Just in case that person sneezes on you, and the ocean breezes blow their spit onto you and you get sick. So that's how you just create that immunity, and you basically become invincible to any kind of illness.
Wow, I love it. This is so great. I've already started doing this, and it takes a little getting used to, but I'm #LickLife all the way.
There you go. Yeah, spread awareness about it. Use the hashtag and join the movement.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much for this. This is good information that people need to know, and that's why we bring them the Wellness Well every day and just dump it right on their head. Thanks. We'll talk to you next time. All right. Fantastic. That was, wow. James, I think it's time we started licking more things.
Of course. It's something you don't think about, but it makes total sense.
Yeah, it's vital. Hashtag science, hashtag lick life, hashtag Brad knows. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions about entrepreneurialism or life or health or business, whatever it may be, talk to me, okay? I know what I'm talking about, as obvious per vis-a-vis this show that I just did. So make sure to do that. And check out the brand new Brad Johnson website. It is not at bradjohnsonshow.website anymore.
We had a little bit of a technical issue there. There were some hackers. Our website was just so insanely popular that they hacked it and stole the domain name. And so we had to get a new one, unfortunately.
It's just tragic. I mean, they're holding it hostage, and it's like, I'll bring my audience with me to another website. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to bradjohnsonshow.wixsite.com, which is very close to website, honestly, but make sure to put /Brad Johnson Show after that. So bradjohnsonshow.wixsite.com/bradjohnsonshow. That's a great place to go and connect with the show. All the social mediums are on there, and some more information about the show and testimonials and a way to sign up to get notified when the course launches. So make that happen because you need to.
Yeah, it's the best way you can stay connected and see when new things are going to be released, and just be in a safe space on the internet.
Yeah, there's so much non-safe spaces, but if you lick them, then you'll become immune to them. So do that, and be winnerly. #winnerly. All right, we'll talk to you guys next time. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to the Brad Johnson Show, where every episode we bring you tips, tricks, interviews, advice, and answers to fix the mess that is your life, while helping you stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and your personal life. Show us your face, tweet us your tweets, and Insta your grams @Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.